Hello everyone, welcome to Thursday's English lesson. Just like every day, we're going to start off with our handwriting. I'm going to show you our handwriting in a slightly different way today because some people in their English books have been showing me small letters that are absolutely massive. So I'm going to show you it in a slightly different way today, and hopefully it'll make more sense to you. All right, so we're going to look at the letter E first. We're not going to use this top line because most of your books, you've got too much space in there, but our E's are nice and small. Okay, now normally when we do an E, it starts about here and it goes straight across and then up and round. That's a normal E if we're not joining up. But when we do a joined E, it's a little bit different because most of the time it'll be on the line. All right, so it actually ends up looking a little bit more like this. It's kind of like a loop-de-loop and it must sit down on the line. Okay, just going to show you another one like that, and you can see that it's just hitting that imaginary line. My imaginary line in my book is about here. All right, it's not a real line in your book, it's an imaginary line, and an E is a small letter. We do not want anything that goes like this. That is way too big. That's the type of thing that I'd expect a year one or a reception child to do. We're in year two and we've got to keep our letters nice and small. So I want you to do one line of the letter E. And I really, really want you to keep these nice and small, going about halfway up the line. Okay. Just have a go at doing one line of letter E. As soon as you've done that, you can tick your best one. I think my best one is, I think this one's my best. And which one's my worst one? Well, this one's pretty bad, isn't it? That's definitely not what we want. Okay, pause the video now and do one line of E. Okay, we're going to go straight into a word now. We're going to use the word he today, nice and easy. We did our H yesterday, so writing the word he should be quite easy. H is a tall letter, that'll bang its head. E is a small letter, all right? So H will go right the way up, but E will be nice and small, all right? So when we do our H, it's going to go straight up, straight back down, up and over, and then we're going to go straight into our E. And our E is the same size as the arched bit of your H, okay? It's going to go straight up, down, up, over, and straight into our E, all right? Just going to try one more, because hopefully I can make my E exactly the same size. Let's have a look. Not bad. Mine aren't perfect on here. They're not as good as they normally look, but it's really important that we see that those H's banging their head and those E's only nice and small, about halfway up the line, okay? So have a go at doing one line of he in your English books, and after that you can go straight into writing your date and title, which will be on the next slide. Okay, so pause the video, do one line of he for me, and then go on to your date and title. Okay, just pause the video now to write your date and title. Off you go. Right, so today we're going to create a plan to help us write Ellie's diary for each day of the week, although actually we need to finish the book first. So there's probably going to be quite a few pages that we've not read yet. So you remember Tuffy was at the vet's, wasn't he? And he was being a bit naughty. He spat at the receptionist and what did he do to the gerbil? Oh, he was looking at a gerbil and licking his lips, wasn't he? Okay, so that's where we're up to in the book. I did growl a bit, but you'd think he'd have a head start on growling. He is a dog after all. I'm only a cat. And yes, okay, I spat a bit, but only a bit. Nothing you'd even notice unless you were waiting to pick on someone. Well, how was How was I to know he wasn't feeling very well? Not everyone waiting for the vet is ill. I wasn't ill, was I? Actually, I've never been ill in my life. I don't even know what it feels like. But I reckon, even if I were dying, something furry locked in a cage could make an incy-wincy noise at me without me ending up whimpering and cowering and scrabbling to get under the seat to hide behind the knees of my owner. More like a chicken than a Scotch terrier, if you want my opinion. Could you please keep that vile cat of yours under control? Mrs. Fisher said nastily. Ellie stuck up for me. He's in a cage. He's still scaring half the animals in here to death. Can't you cover him up or something? Ellie was going to keep arguing. I could tell. But without even looking up from his worm pamphlet, her father just dropped his raincoat over my cage as if there was some mangy old parrot or something. And everything went black. No wonder by the time the vet came at me, and with her nasty long needle, I was in a bit of a mood. I didn't mean to scratch her that badly, though. Or smash those little glass bottles. Or tip the new expensive cat scales off the bench. Or spill all the cleaning fluid. It wasn't me who ripped my record card into tiny pieces, though. That was the vet. And there's Tuffy causing all sorts of mayhem on the vet's table. Oh dear. When we left, Ellie was in tears again. She hugged my cage tightly to her chest. Oh, Tuffy, until we find a new vet who'll promise to look after you, you must be so careful not to get run over. Fat chance, her father muttered. I was just glowering. Glowering is like kind of nasty look. I was just glowering at him through the cage wire when he spotted Ellie's mother standing knee-deep in shopping bags outside the supermarket. You're very late, she scolded. Was there a bit of trouble at the vet's? Ellie burst into tears. I mean, talk about wimp. But her father is made of sterner stuff. He'd just taken the most huge breath, ready to snitch on me. There's Ellie's mother saying, you're late. Ellie, in tears by the cage. And Dad's about to explain what happened in the vet's. When suddenly, he let it out again. Out of the corner of his eye, he'd spotted trouble of another sort. Quick, he whispered. Next door is coming through the checkout. He picked up half the shopping bags. Ellie's mother picked up the rest. But before we could get away, next door had come through the glass doors. So now all four of them were forced to chat. Morning, said Ellie's father. Morning, said next door. Nice day, said Ellie's father. Lovely, agreed next door. Nicer than yesterday, said Ellie's mother. Oh, yes, next door said. Yesterday was horrible. She probably meant the weather, for heaven's sake, but Ellie's eyes filled with tears again. I don't know why she was so fond of Thumper. I'm the one who's supposed to be her pet, not him. Because she couldn't see where she was going properly anymore, she bumped into Ellie's mother, and half the tins of cat food fell out of the shopping bags and rolled off down the street. Ellie dumped down my cage and chased off after them. Then she made the mistake of reading the labels. Oh no, she wailed. Rabbit chunks. Really, that child is such a drip. She'd never make it in our gang. She wouldn't last a week. Talking about rabbits, said next door, the most extraordinary thing happened at our house. Really, said Ellie's father, glaring at me. Oh, yes, said Ellie's mother, glaring at me as well. Yes, said next door. On Monday, poor Thumper looked a little bit poorly, so we brought him inside. And on Tuesday, he was worse. And on Wednesday, he died. He was terribly old and he'd had a happy life, so we didn't feel too bad about it. In fact, we had a little funeral and buried him in a box at the bottom of the garden. I'm staring up at the clouds now. And on Thursday, he'd gone. Gone? Gone? Yes, gone. and all that was left of him was a hole in the ground and an empty box. Really? Good heavens. Ellie's father was giving me the most suspicious look. And then, yesterday, next door went on, something even more extraordinary happened. Thumper was back again, all fluffed up nicely, back in his hutch. Back in his hutch, you say? Fluffed up nicely? How strange. You have to hand it to them. They're good actors. They kept it up the whole way home. What an amazing story. How on earth could it have happened? Quite astonishing. So strange. Till we were safely through the front door. And then, of course, the pair of them turned on me. Deceitful creature. Making us think you killed him. Just pretending all along. I knew that cat could never have done it. That rabbit was even fatter than he is. You'd have thought they all wanted me to have murdered old Thumper. All except Ellie. She was sweet. Don't you dare pick on Tuffy, she told them. You leave him alone. I bet he didn't even dig poor Thumper up. I bet it was the Fisher's nasty vicious terrier who did that. All Tuffy did was bring Thumper back to us so we could make sure he was buried again properly. He's a hero, a kind of thoughtful hero. She gave me a big, soft squeeze. Isn't that right, Tuffy? I'm saying nothing, am I? I'm a cat. So I just sat and watched while they unnailed the cat flap. And that's the end of the story. So turns out Tuffy didn't even kill the cat. He just found the cat who had already died. And there we are thinking that he's a killer. What a strange ending. So tomorrow, your job is going to be to write Ellie's diary for the whole week. We're going to think about what happened on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay. So I've actually got quite an easy job this week. Today, sorry. Got an easy job today. I want you to just think about what happened on each day. Okay. What did Tuffy do? And how did Ellie feel about it? And then all I'd like you to do in your book, so imagine this is a page in your book. For each day, I want you to draw a small box. It'll probably only be about 3 lines big. And then just write one short sentence just to remind yourself what happened, okay? So for example, now my drawing is not going to look very good here, so don't laugh, all right? So for example, on Monday, he brought the bird home, didn't he? That was the very first thing. So you might just draw a little picture of a bird. All right, let's see how good my bird can be. Yeah, it kind of looks like a bird. Let's give it a wing or two. Hold on. There you go. Kind of looks like a penguin or something, but there we go. And then the sentence would be, Tuffy brought home the bird. That's all we need to do. And then Monday, Tuesday, sorry. What happened on Tuesday? On Tuesday, they had the funeral for the bird, didn't they? All right, so we might just give, and this is just a drawing, just to remind us of the events in the book. We're not worried too much about what our drawings look like. It's just to remind us about what happened on each day. I'm just going to put an RIP for rest in peace. There we go. Doesn't really look like a P, that, does it? They had a funeral for the bird. All right. And then on Wednesday, he brought home the mouse. Thursday, he brought home Thumper. Friday, they put Thumper back. And Saturday, they went to the vets and then saw the neighbours on the way home. All right. So I've done the first two for you. You can copy them if you want to. You can do slightly different pictures if you want to, or things like that. You can do a different sentence if you want to. You can colour it in if you want to. All right. But I want you to have a go at doing, only 6 pictures and 6 short sentences just to remind yourself about what happened. Is that okay? And then tomorrow, we're going to turn our plan into a full piece of writing. So A little bit of work tomorrow, should be nice and easy. A lot of big work, a little bit of work today, a lot of work tomorrow. Is that okay? Is that fair? Real. I'm looking forward to seeing this. So have fun. And I bet you can draw a better bird than me. Off you go.